Another film I got to see earlier than a lot of people, though, was Babygirl, which is a new film from A24 starring Nicole Kidman, Harris Dickinson, and Antonio Banderas. And it's a plot that's pretty simple. Kidman plays this high-end CEO that starts an affair with an intern that is played by Dickinson. And I was really excited for this because it comes from director Halina Reijn. I could have pronounced that wrong. Sorry if I did. But her last film that she did was Bodies, 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 which was definitely one of my favorite movies of 2022. I thought it was so much fun. It was a great horror comedy. And I will say, if you were a fan of that movie and you were going into this expecting a follow-up to that in the same kind of style, these could not be more different. So check your expectations at the door, because Babygirl, even though it does have some comedic moments, like, you're never gonna not laugh in this movie. It's got some of those awkward moments that Bodies, Bodies, Bodies had, but this is definitely way more in the drama category. There's a lot more serious stuff going on. So definitely check your expectations at the door. But I always get excited when a director tries to broaden their range, I guess, and try something completely different. And even though I think she does a solid job with directing this movie, I don't think Babygirl necessarily ever exceeds just a solid movie, at least for me, because I always get a little bit let down by movies that don't really exceed what we think they are going to be, and they kind of just deliver every beat that you would expect the movie to deliver on. Like I mentioned earlier in this TIFF recap, that Joshua Oppenheimer's The End, which is a movie about a rich family that is stuck in a bunker at the end of the world, it didn't really do anything you wouldn't think it would touch on in terms of that exact subject. And with Babygirl, when you hear that Nicole Kidman and Harris Dickinson are having a sort of kinky affair, that's kind of all you get. Like, you don't really get much deeper than what you would expect with that premise that is just sold to you. And don't get me wrong, it's a good version of that. Like, both of these actors crush their roles. I mean, Nicole Kidman, she makes movies better. We know that already. Harris Dickinson is one of those people I said a long time ago, and I never get this right, so I'm proud that I called this very early on. He was an indie actor that I knew, like, man, this guy just has so much potential, because I've been a huge cheerleader of the movie Beach Rats from 2017 ever since I saw it back then. I think it's a really great movie. If you haven't seen it, it is super underrated. I hope you like it. But when I watched him in that lead role, I was like, holy shit, this guy is super talented, and I can't wait to see what happens next. And now he's kind of here, and he's getting bigger and bigger roles, and he definitely deserves them. He's super talented, and he's really good in here. But they both do an excellent job. And I feel like nobody's talking about Antonio Banderas because maybe they don't want to get too involved with the movie. I don't really know if they want to dive super deep, but he's in the movie, and he's really, really fucking good, to the point where I would say he might be the best performance in here. It's a very patient performance. Like, he doesn't have nearly as much screen time as the other two, but when he delivers, he fucking delivers. So performance-wise, I think the entire ensemble is great, but I don't think the story itself lives up to their performances. Or I should say, like, the plot itself doesn't live up to the story that they try and sell from the second you hear about this movie. At least for me, nothing ever came off as surprising. Like, there's maybe, you could say, certain directions the movie tries to go, but I would never be surprised, like, going into this movie thinking it would have done anything differently. I was expecting it to do something different, and it never really did. And every scene feels solid. It's not like you're watching the movie and you're like, man, this is just not good. No, it's solid the entire time. It just never really over delivers on anything for me. And obviously the movie has a lot of sex and dirty talk in there, and a lot of people were coming out of this like, man, that movie really goes for it, huh? And maybe I'm just crazy, but I was sitting there like, yeah, like, sure, there's sex in the movie, they talk dirty, nothing fucking wild to me. Like, yeah, they do a couple things, and it's one of those things, you do a double take, you're like, but nothing where I was like, oh my God, I didn't think that was possible. And I would say maybe in this review, let's move on from the sex stuff and talk about something else. But I don't think Babygirl gives you too much to chew on that. Yeah, like, you watch the movie, you're like, the movie's good, and it kind of ends. It's solid, it's sexy, and it's probably a 6 out of 10 for me. I won't be thinking about it that much a year from now. It sounds like a lot of people that came out of the festival really enjoyed it. I'm sure I'll take my girlfriend because she's probably interested in this movie because of Bodies, 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 and I get it. It's a sellable premise. I won't be mad that I have to watch it again. I think it will be solid, but I don't think I'll walk out of that movie the second time and be like, man, that is incredible. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I feel that way on the second watch, but I definitely prefer the previous movie that the director worked on.
If this feels like a shorter review than usual, it's because this is a segment of a much larger video that I've put on the channel already, kind of reviewing my entire experience of the Toronto International Film Festival this year. I saw about 37 movies, which is absolutely crazy, and I talk about all of them in that video. Some of these are the biggest Oscar players of the year, some of them are the best horror movies of the year, whatever it is. We talk about a lot of movies in that video, so a link to that full video will be in the description here. But if you just want to see the shorter reviews that keep coming out over the next week or two, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of those reviews that drop. This is also all of my social media right here, so if you want to follow me on Letterboxd, Instagram, Twitter, whatever it is, I check the Letterboxd the most. I haven't been as active on this because I've been working on this video and so many other projects over the past month, but I love talking about movies on there, so if you want to keep up with what I'm watching, be sure to watch that. Also, shout out to Reed for being so patient with me and helping edit all these videos and getting all these exports out. So if you need help with any editing at all, be sure to hit him up. He will absolutely help your videos out a ton. Be sure to like these videos, whether it's this video, the Long Toronto video, they all help me out a ton. It helps more than you think. I know a lot of people ask for you to hit the like button, but it helps me pay Reed to help me keep editing these videos. So if you won't like it for me, like it for Reed. And be sure to comment down below. Have you seen this movie yet? If the film has come out, what did you think of it? If it hasn't come out yet, are you excited for it still? Did my opinion change? I mean, this outro is going on the end of all my videos. So with this specific movie, I don't know if I loved it or if I hated it, but you know what? At the end of the day, a day talking about movies is a good day. So I'd love to talk to you in the comment section down below. And that is it for me. So this is Chase. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I hope you have an awesome day. Thanks.